welcome back to my channel. It's Tierra LashaAA and we are BACK back with another video. In this video, I'm going to have a lot of information for y'all, from the highest and lowest CNA paying states, also to where you can work in different facilities. So I'm going to break everything down from y'all, basically what I've learned, what I've researched, and I'm also going to put the credits who I've looked and researched as well. So let's stay tuned for this video and let's get right into it. And I am reading this off a loose leaf paper that I got from this facility because I don't have my iPad or my computer. So we had to make do what we had. So yeah, here are the top 10 highest paying CNA states in the US. First up, we have Hawaii, Alaska, Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, Oregon, New York, California, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. And y'all know I can't give y'all the highest paying without giving y'all the lowest paying, because I would want to know if I'm working in the lowest paying state to know what I can do to up my pay rate or where I need to go to get a better pay rate. So the #1 paying state in the US is Mississippi. Next up, we have Louisiana, South Carolina, Georgia, Arkansas, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Alabama. Put a lot of emphasis on Georgia because I was just living there a few months ago. When I worked and was staffed at a facility, my pay rate was $13.50. When I started working agency, the lowest paying rate I was getting was $18. There was shifts that were $23, $24, you know, that I could pick up, and that was because it was a weekend and a premium pay. But I was competing with everybody else in the city who wanted that higher paying rate either. So it really wasn't guaranteed that I was making that money. Granted, there are other agencies you can go through and you can kind of pick and choose if you want to work this agency one day, this agency the next day, or just pick up shifts accordingly based off your schedule, which you can do as well because you're not held down to one facility to make your bread. Next, let's get into the different facilities you can work in as a CNA. So the first facility I'm going to start with is hospital, because usually that's everybody's #1 top choice. So working in a hospital is very fast paced. You may have a resident or a patient for 3 days, you may have them for a week, you may have them for a month, but usually consistently they stay moving. The type of care that you will be providing to these residents and patients will basically be some of their ADLs, which will be changing, maybe feeding, probably mobility, and also just, you know, helping out with whatever the nurse needs you to help out with. Again, these people are consistently moving, so you may come to work the next day and the resident that you seen yesterday, you gave a shower to, may not be there because they've moved out. After COVID, I believe most hospitals jumped to 12 hours because of staffing, meaning that instead of working an 8-hour shift, you probably working 7A to 7P or 7P to 7A. So next up, we have SNF, which if you don't know, it's skilled nursing facility. And I also included rehab in this as well because they kind of go hand in hand. Now, working in SNF, basically the residents are there because they need extensive care that they really can't get at the nursing home or long-term care. They may need physical therapy, speech therapy to recover / you know, improve their condition. Usually they prefer prior experience so that you know how to come in and change somebody's colostomy bag. If you've never done that before, you know, you have to go ask the nurse has to come show you. Sometimes the residents are really good with letting you know how to do it, but sometimes you don't know and you have to ask them questions. So don't do anything that you don't know how to do at all. Please don't do anything you don't know how to do at all unless you ask somebody to show you, to help you out. And if they're not trying to help you out, don't do it. Refuse to do it because you need help to do it. You don't want to jeopardize your career, your license, or somebody else's health because you attempted to do something that you did not know how to do. Next up, I have long-term care and assisted living. So you'll probably have mainly independent residents. Some of them are not independent, which just need assistance with their activities of daily living, showering, getting them up in the morning. Besides their ADLs, you may be there basically for companionship. But I feel as if you need probably little to no experience. If anything, this facility will probably hire you as soon as you get out of school. And also the workload of working at long-term care and assisted living is very much less than working at a hospital or working at some other places. Again, you are dealing with residents who can verbally tell you what they want, who can verbally tell you what they need. So it's a lot easier, but at the same time, you may get some needy residents who are consistently on the call, like who need you for X, Y, and Z, and you already gave them 9, 8, and 10, you know? Next on the list is a nursing home. And I've worked in a lot of places, and please don't let me persuade y'all not one bit, but personally, I will not work in a nursing home ever again. I've learned my lesson one too many times, and I continue just, you know, going back, never again. Basically, working in a nursing home is full-time care. The workload is way more than working at memory care, way more than working at assisted living. Usually, I feel as if these places are the places who are less staffed. These residents need more extensive care. They may have Hoyer lifts, feeders, total cares. Basically, you're always just hands-on. You're probably consistently moving your whole shift. If you like that, and that's for you, then go ahead, by all means. You'll probably get hired as soon as you put the application through, because that's how bad nursing homes need people. The next place you can work is in memory care, which is my personal fave. You are working with residents who have memory problems like dementia and Alzheimer's. Your work will consist of basically their activities of daily living, bathing, changing, feeding, mobility, activities, and compassion. Working in memory care, you have to stay alert at all times. You may have Susie over here that you just, you know, cleaned up from the dinner table, got her in bed, and she continues to get out of bed, but she's a fall risk, but she's just hungry, not knowing that she just ate because she doesn't remember. So you have to, you know, continue reminding her like, hey, you know, we just ate. I'll bring you a snack, you know, trying to keep her in her room and everything to make sure she doesn't fall while you go change your other residents. So I feel as if it's a little bit stressful sometimes, but at the same time, I wouldn't trade working in memory care for anything. I love it. I love the connection I have with my residents. I love taking care of my residents, all of it. So it's definitely my favorite, and I'll put it as #1. So the next place you can work is home health, which allows the residents to stay in the comfort of their home while still receiving the personal care from you. You're there doing their ADLs, you know, laundry. You may take them to an appointment, medication reminders. You may cook for them, take out laundry, clean up their house. Basically anything they need done in their house that pertains to them and their home. Working in home health, you could be working with just one person, or you could be working with 2 people, like a husband and wife, or a whole family. As far as hours, your hours pretty much is dependent on the person's care plan. So I've worked for a home health agency before, and I've done 1-hour care shifts where it was just me getting them in the shower. I've done 2-hour care shifts, which it was me getting them a shower and getting them breakfast. 3 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. It just basically depends on what the person requires for their care plan. Next up, I have an adult daycare, which personally I have not worked there, but I hear very much good things about it, and I cannot wait to work at one. I'm actually looking at opening one, if you want me to be honest with you. But working in adult daycare, you're helping patients with mental and physical disabilities that prevent them from caring for themselves. Working at adult daycares, you'll be doing pretty much the same thing: toileting, feeding, medication reminders, and mobility. Usually the work hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. because the patients are not residents at that facility. So their caretakers come and pick them up at the end of the day. Whenever they get off work or whenever they finish doing what they were doing, they come pick up their loved one and then they go home with them. And then you get to go home. So basically, it's not like a regular facility where they have 24-hour care, 24-hour access, and you can choose 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. You're there just for them 8 hours with those select people, and then you go home. And there are so many other places you can work, like mental health hospitals or correctional facilities. I personally have to go do some more research so I can give y'all a part 2 to this video, because of course I would love to know what I need to do to go work in a correctional facility as well. And before I end this video, I want to go into this last section, basically telling you how you can work as a CNA. So if you are staffed at a regular facility, you have regular hours with them. You get paid bi-weekly. Anything that has to do with your shift, your hours, your availability, you go through everything with that facility, that hiring manager, that nurse, everything. if you are on a travel assignment or travel contract, that means that you are the travel agency's employee. That means that the travel agency reaches out to this facility that needs people. The facility lets them know how many people and how long they need people. They need me for 13 weeks. So they sent me here for 13 weeks for me to work here for 40 hours a week, right? I'm not their employee. I'm contracted with my agency to stay here, and the agency is contracted with the facility, if that makes sense. My agency pays me a stipend weekly, whereas the regular employees here get paid bi-weekly. Usually when you are on travel assignments, they do allow you to hit overtime. So just depending on the agency and also the facility, you may want to contact them and see what you can do. If you work for a local agency, it pretty much means you're a little bit of an independent contractor. You have a lot of flexibility and freedom to come to picking and booking your shifts where you want and when you want, which the facility and the agency get together and they push out a schedule that they need people for. They may push out a shift for tonight. They may push out a shift for tomorrow. They may push out a shift for 2 weeks from now. And basically, if I don't have anything going on for 2 weeks, I'll pick up that shift, which is basically what I'm doing for this shift. So I'm local in Wisconsin, but I drove to Illinois for this shift. Is it worth it? Hell yeah, it's worth it. I'm working a 16, so it's not as bad as me working just an 8-hour and just driving and wasting that gas. But I'm also making a higher rate than I'd be working if I was just working at a regular facility local. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for the next one. Y'all know I got a whole bunch of information to drop for y'all. Continue to ask y'all questions. I promise you I will get to them and answer them. Continue to keep DMing me. I have responded back to everybody. If I have not responded back to you, comment under here and I'll make sure I respond back to you, because it's been a lot of y'all. It's been so much of y'all reaching out to me, asking questions, and I appreciate it so much. Like I said, if I don't know the answer, I'll go do the research and find somebody else who does know the answer. I'll come give you the information and give you the resource so that you can also learn more as well. We all in this together, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, love, and light. Peace.